Hey everyone, Chaz Patrick here, host of the Patrick Connection Huddle. I didn't do monthly because we're definitely picking this up. That being said, I hope all is well wherever you are. And today, I would like to welcome a special friend of mine. He is definitely someone I think of when I think of success. But the other thing is, he's also a Hoosier. So that being said, I am going to invite my friends, Stephen Reger, up on the screen. Hello, Stephen.
How are you all doing today?
We are fantastic, sir. How about you?
I'm doing good. I'm getting ready for Christmas. So I
Yes.
did a bunch of exercises back there in September and October so I could eat extra apple pie and pumpkin pie and desserts here coming up.
Okay. Okay. Definitely good to stay fit when we're approaching this time of season.
I have to. I got to fit in your crawl spaces.
Awesome. Well, if you know about Steven, Steven is the owner of Champion Home Inspection, and he does some great work. But I'm not going to take your thunder, Steven. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Let's talk about your military service and how what did you do when you were in?
Sure. So prior to going in the military, I earned my degree in accounting, and I'm from Long Island, New York. And I graduated from college in 2001. And of course, everyone remembers back in 2001, we had 9/11 there in New York City. And so after 9/11, I had decided to go in the military, and I enlisted as a 19 Delta Cav Scout and kind of did the reverse GI Bill. I did the student loan repayment program. So as part of my coming into the service on the enlisted side with a college degree, it was, like I said, the reverse GI Bill, and that's the direction that I went. So about 2003, heading into 4, I went through basic training in 2002, right into back then. Basic training for Cav Scouts was actually 16 weeks. So I did 16 weeks of basic training at Fort Knox through a winter cycle. And then when I got out in February of basic training, they shipped me to Germany. And I was there for about a year when we deployed to Iraq for the first deployment there in 2004 to 5. So that's what kicked everything off for me back then. Okay.
So, your military service, you've done a lot. How did your military service help you to who you are today?
I always kind of joke about this. I used to find IEDs on the roadside in Iraq. Now I go for looking for issues inside your home. So you could say that learning how to observe and report on the movements of our enemies helped me with preserving and reporting on the conditions of your homes. So it's kind of a little segue there. Everyone kind of knocked the combat arms as not being a good path for a lot of people. I kind of signed up for the whole run, jump, and swim program. So I got to do a few extra things when I was in the military, and that's what I wanted to do. So by 2008, I had actually injured my back, so I cut my service short and everything. So the transition, I took a lot of things that I learned in the military from leadership and what I was responsible for, and that's helped me with running the business today and everything. So I would say specifically, just, I hate to say this, being responsible, doing what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it, show up on time, say please and thank you. How about some of those basic skills that we don't see in the general public in this day and age? So, I'm grateful for everybody that does business with us. And I always say one of the great things about America, a lot of my friends transitioning out of the military, they're like, what do I do next? And I actually message a lot of them because I stay in touch with people I deployed with. And I got an officer friend from my first deployment. I'm going to go visit up in Michigan here. He's done over 20 years in the service now. He was commenting about that. And I said, well, I say this to a lot of my friends, we went from serving our country. There's a greater need for us to be serving in our communities here back home. And so I don't just see my business as an extension of me. It's a purpose driven. So we're here serving in the community. If you visit our website, you see we do philanthropy. We support, a number of nonprofits and charities. So we take it very seriously here at our business about serving the community. And that in turn serves our country as a whole by building our own communities back home.
I think it's so important that you mentioned that whole sense of service and tying into community. I mean, just be able to do what you do and having that purpose and be able to locally, contribute to the greater parts of the state or the nation. I think that's so important. So kudos for you on that. So as far as like something that you could tell somebody, like getting out of the service, what would you say?
I would take advantage of all the transitioning resources that the military has to offer. And I would start, 6 months or more in advance if you know that you're not staying in, and start networking with as many people as you can so you can have a successful transition. And start looking at it. A lot of us, our lives were revolved around our military careers. Like that was the only thing that we could ever be useful in life. And, a lot of guys, they like that sense of camaraderie. You can get out and get involved with, the VFW, the American Legion. I'm involved with a local chapter called Rolling Thunder. We do POW and MIA issues. So, there's lots of opportunities to get back involved with other veterans while you're looking for the careers and developing your career. Some guys that's going back to college, other guys that's going to tech school and things like that. So there's a lot of different opportunities at our business. We're kind of between a trade and a profession. I train everybody from the ground up here on what we're doing. So a person that was an electrician will still have to learn plumbing and things like that, because it's, as property inspectors, you have to know a little bit about everything, not so much about one specific thing. So there's a lot of that with our lines of work. Okay.
What's some things you would like to close out with from this?
Well, I would recommend to guys, don't be afraid to reach out to other people. One of the things I talk to guys about is getting involved with other veterans in your community and being like, can you point me in the right direction? We were all used to that in the military. No one liked doing the hand-holding side of the house. Like, I'm not going to tell you what to do. But if you come to me and you're like, hey, what do I do about this? I'm going to be like, oh, let me point you in the right direction and stuff like that. So we want to help each other, but, we'll give them a hand, a helping hand up instead of a hand out, as I always say. Teach these guys to be self-sufficient.
That's so important, that leveraging those social networks. Yeah. And being able to, make the connection for somebody. I mean, that's worth more than gold, right? So I definitely agree with you on that. And then lastly, why Indiana?
So we kind of ended up over here. I'm originally from Long Island, New York, and my wife is from Southern California. Both of us left in the early 2000s. And even though I got out of the military back in 2009, which was right after that housing bubble and the troubles we had in 2008, I struggled to find gainful employment myself when I first got out. It took me about 6 months before I was able to get back up on my feet. And having a wife and children, we couldn't afford to buy into a home back in either one of our places in Southern because the prices of the properties had appreciated so much. Mm-hmm. I had in-laws that were living over in Kentucky at the time. And so I took a government job. And then as I moved around for it, I ended up actually over in Owensboro. And when I started, we had moved to, and I would commute over to Owensboro. We bought a property in Newburgh. And as my business, I started a side business. And as that, it just kept growing. And so it just outgrew what I was doing, income-wise from the federal government and stuff. So we decided to take a chance and run with it. And that, another benefit of the military was learning how to assess risk and make intelligent decisions based on that and going, hey, you got a great government job here. They would never get rid of you. But what about the benefits and the risk and reward ratio of starting your own business and taking that chance? So we've grown significantly since then. And I did a market analysis here for the Evansville market, and it's just continued to grow and grow. So, we've got a couple people on staff now, and I just hired a few more. So it just continues. You've benefited firsthand from it.
Yes, I would say I've actually used you a couple times. Even my grandmother used your services back in the past. And, we can definitely say that you exude excellence in all you do.
Yeah.
And so, that's quick pitch to anybody looking for a home inspector, a champion home inspection. Right. Hey, personally recommend they do a fantastic job, and they definitely take pride in what they do.
Yeah. You got the state standards of practice, and then you got Steve's standards of practice. It's like setting the old PT score
up there.
Yeah. So you got to meet my standards in order to work with me and my company. And then that's creating value for guys. That's creating above average wages in our general market. That is my mission. And my mission in life now is create multiple small businesses that pay above average wages in the markets we operate in, while still contributing to local nonprofits and charities along the way out of each one of them. And that's as we march and scale that up, it has a real impact. So, Well,
that's fantastic. Well, I want to take the time to thank you so much for being a guest on the Patrick Connection Huddle. And more so than anything, thank you for your service. We know that freedom is not free. And that being said, we know that there are things that, within our lives that make that lifelong impact. And so thank you for, continuing being a servant leader in the community and in our state. And grateful to have your friendship and mentorship, Stephen. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on here. Look forward to it if you ever need it again. And we'll be in touch soon. Okay.
All right. Sounds good. I'm going to go ahead and put you off. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. And if you have any questions, go ahead and put them down in the chat. We're live, so we can definitely connect and explore things further. And don't forget to check out Stephen, because he has some great things going on the home inspection side of things. So until next time, be well wherever you are. Continue connecting and continue serving. Until next time.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.